the control with the two sticks was the biggest challenge. We did a lot of testing, and we are surprised how we kept the original concept of the game we had at the outset, and I think it paid off.
Hello there, welcome back to part 2 for the PlayStation Underground issue for Disc 1. So we've done all the info right there. Alright, let's get to the next nitty-gritty stuff. So anyway, I'm glad you guys continue watching this stuff, and I'm going to finish up when I get to 4.4. So the next part we're going to do is Event Center with two things. The X Games and the PlayStation Truck. X Games to tell you what they like to play games during the X Games, and the PlayStation Truck winner as well. So let's go try it out.
If this is what you do for work, what do you do for fun?
Pro Borders, because I'm in it.
Duke Nukem 3.
I just finished that game, Metal Gear Solid.
Played that way too much.
That's probably one of the best games I've ever played on PlayStation.
I like Siphon Filter.
Cool Borders 3, no one can touch me.
Yeah, I like that game. Creeping around, it's fun.
The life of an X Games Pro isn't easy. You have fans chasing you, lots of flights to catch, new tricks to master. So after work, how do you blow off steam?
Lately I've been playing a lot, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. It's a really fun game. It gives you a rush. Yeah, I mean, when you land something, it's like, whoa!
Even at the top, if you're a living legend like Tony Hawk, it's not always easy.
I've only broken one bone. I broke my elbow last year after 20 years, and I've been knocked out a couple times.
The pressure's on to be first with new moves.
Probably I'm best known for like 720, which is a double spin, and then different variations of the 540, like burial 540, sailfish, just stuff like that. A lot of spinning maneuvers.
How do you keep learning to do what no human being's ever done before?
You just kind of go and see if you can get the right spinning motion down, and you can fall safely out of most situations. And so you just keep going until you have the confidence to just throw one down.
After 20 years, what keeps Tony Hawk going?
Like I said, I'm just happy that I'm still getting to do it. I've just always loved the progression, and knowing that there's new stuff to learn, that's what keeps me going.
With all the pressure, how do you take a break?
I play Gran Turismo and Oddworld and Cool Borders, and my son loves Spyro. What's my favorite? By far the skate game. I mean, even if it weren't my signature game, it'd be my favorite game.
Skateboarding and PlayStation. That's all you need in life.
PlayStation and the X Games. It's how some people who are paid to have fun after work.
PlayStation rips, man.
You're in the 8th grade, one of hundreds of kids. Hardly anyone knows your name. Then one night a phone call comes in. Was it real, or was it a dream?
I was playing Final Fantasy VII, and then I got that call, and I told it too. I didn't believe me. I thought it was a friend telling a prank or something, because I told him I joined this and what I could win.
It's an official from Fox TV. She says that out of over 100,000 entries, you won the grand prize. Lots of cool PlayStation stuff for your home, and something very special that would visit your school. The PlayStation Touring Attraction. 18 wheels of video game excitement. All your classmates could try the latest PlayStation games thanks to you.
I called some of my friends and told them. They didn't believe me. I had to have my mom tell them.
It was a Tuesday night. I was upstairs. Jason was doing his own thing, and he got the call, and he couldn't believe it. Yep, he thought it was a prank.
Then they still didn't believe me. I brought in some of the stuff to show them. They still didn't believe me. I said, you can go out and buy that. When I got my stuff on the box, they had a little writing, congratulations. I brought that in. They said, you could have scanned that on the computer.
But even your most skeptical friends back off when your school principal gets a call from contest executives.
Someone called from Sony indicating that we had a national winner, and that was the first I heard of it. And you know, it was Jason Moreira that won the national contest.
The big day finally unfolds in your school parking lot. Your classmates can hardly stay in their seats. You go on local TV.
PlayStation, 25 games for it.
You get more prizes.
Got to MLB 2000. It's right.
Then it's on to the truck. You're in 8th grade, one of hundreds of kids. Now almost everyone knows your name. What will you remember 3 years from now?
Everything. I'll remember everything.
Wish I was that guy, have that PlayStation truck into my high school. Oh well, those are the days. Anyway, okay, let's go to the download station. Let's see what you can get for this one right here. Okay, here are the 4 games part. Okay, this one's called Evil Zone. And you get all costumes, narrations, and stuff like that with that. Okay, the next one, Blast Radius. And that one you get, you'll get Hidden Ships. Soul of a Samurai, which I already demonstrated, which that was a pretty good game, by the way. It unlocks Infinity Stars, costumes for both the characters as well. Okay, and the final one, Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. Okay, you get unlock all stages. So there you go. Anyway, so let's get on to the next part here. All right. Okay, the next part here we're going to be talking about. Okay, here you go. Technical question and answers of the next generation PlayStation.
How are game developers reacting to the next generation of PlayStation? As a PlayStation Underground subscriber, you get inside access.
All we're seeing here today is the tip of the iceberg.
You're going to see a much more detailed modeling, much more detailed worlds.
A prediction for Road Rash could possibly on the next generation PlayStation. We would go from 300 polygons for bike and rider combination to somewhere from 2,000 to 3,000 faces.
The fact that you can actually render something like Toy Story on the PlayStation in real time is just, awesome.
And it's really exciting to see a home platform that's going to have even surpass the power of some of the high-end military machines that we've worked with in the past.
I think it's absolutely incredible that we've got a supercomputer and a game machine.
The poly counts, the sound, the texture memory, we can bring everything together into a really cool, compelling storyline.
It'd be really cool if you would walk through a hallway and the lights would actually be carried with you like a torch, for instance.
What you're going to see is a little more randomness and the ability to control the character.
Because the game is all about hiding in the shadows so the guards can't see you. But if the guards had a torch with them, that would completely change the way you play the game.
You'll be able to get bodies swinging around and you'll have more control. You'll be actually able to screw up a little easier, which is nice for a gamer.
We want to take you out into huge, vast regions of space with giant cruise ships and planets and space stations where you're a little tiny dot and the space station's miles and miles long.
For a driving game, for example, crashing into a wall, not only will you damage your car, but you'll damage the wall, and maybe repeated crashing into a wall will even knock it down.
We want to do things that nobody's ever seen before.
In a way, you will be able to see characters talk to each other, react. There will be like when you impact somebody up, you will see his reaction, his facial reaction.
You'll be able to interact with characters that feel like living entities with facial expressions and emotional reactions.
It's all going to behave like real life, and nobody will have had to sit down for hours and animate it.
I can't think of anything right off that we won't be able to do on the next generation PlayStation.
The roof is off.
You know what, I noticed that it takes about like 5 years to do a game console. So, let's go to Gen Mode 3.
Jet Moto 3 is coming. What's in it that's new? You won't have time to ask. Either you splat like a fly on a windshield, or scream faster than ever through some of the coolest places on Earth and beyond. We got the game's producer to tip you off in advance on what's new, so when you play, you can totally concentrate on saving your butt.
We wanted to add 3 different things. One is speed. As much speed as possible. 2 was base everything, all the track design off of skill. So you would learn basic skills as you go through the environment and then use those together in combinations of skills later when you get to the hard environment. And the 3rd was we really wanted to take away all the barriers that were in 1 and 2, limiting the player where he can go and where he can't go. And this time, pretty much, if you see it, you can drive on it. We tried to build in shortcuts as much as possible everywhere. Look for them. We also added a few new features. We added stunt mode, which everyone has been dying for. It's a hidden mode, so you're going to have to figure out how to open it. It's pretty much a point-based mode. You have a certain amount of time, and you have to do a certain amount of stunts within that time period and gain enough points in order to progress through 5 different stunt tracks. In order to get the really high scoring tricks, you got to rotate on all 3 axes. We added a new hop feature, which is part of the skills that I talked about earlier, and we added horizontal grapples where you can pretty much Tarzan swing using multiple grapples throughout the environment. It's pretty cool. You go through a total of 11 tracks. The last track, Planet X, is extremely hard. The music on Jet Moto 3 is high-energy techno with different styles, loosely based on the environment. We have 2 people working on them. Juno Reactor doing some original tunes, and Chucky D, our internal guy here at 99 Studios.
Nobody knows the game like the producer, and he had this final word to pass along.
Okay, here's a hint for the Lost City level. If you want to get through the top of the observatory, don't turbo over the sundial. Just drive over it and hop at the end. There you go.
989 Studios.
And that's it for all the info and everything for Disc 1, I think. Yep, that's it. Disc 1 is done. Anyway, yeah, I'll show you the demonstration of Jet Moto 3 as well for next part. Anyway, here goes the main menu for R-type Delta codes. Alright, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for part 3, and it's time to game over. I'm AlanStarWarsFan there. See you in part 3.